So the Sandler equal business posture, first of all, when you think about equal business posture, why would that be important for a sales professional? And when I talk to people that are particularly younger, maybe don't have as much experience, maybe haven't made the kind of money the people that they're calling on, maybe their company's smaller than the company they're calling on, they feel kind of almost like a child, like they're the child in the relationship and they're trying to get something from the parent. And so, but it's a lot of those things you can't change. If you're 24 years old, you're 24 years old. And what I hear a lot from people is they say, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And I would argue that maybe we could call it just is. Because that allows us to not just be stuck there. It is what it is means I'm raising the white flag. I can't do anything about it. But actually, there is some things you can do about it. And what we're going to talk about today is how do we use the system that all of you are familiar with and basically connect the dots to the system in equal business posture. So this is going to be a little bit of a review. You've all know the system, but I'm going to actually connect the dots for you. So then it becomes, first of all, leverageable. So even if you work for yourself, or it can become or transferable. So you can transfer it to your people. And it works internally and externally. So some of you are salespeople, and not only are you negotiating outside your four walls, but you're negotiating internally. I mean, banks are perfect examples of that. They have to go out and find business, and then they got to get the credit committee to say this is something we want. So there's influencing going on all the time. Okay, we already went over the goals. Now the first thing, now obviously you guys have kind of drunk the Kool-Aid. We're at a Sandler client summit, but Sandler is a proven system, and there's probably no better way to experience this than where you are today. We've got people from all over the United States. We've got people from different countries. We've got people in different industries, and that's the beauty of Sandler is that it works not just in one vertical, but just having a selling process establishes equal business posture. A lot of people I talk to before they become clients, they have a system for everything in their business except sales. They have a shipping system, they have an accounting system, they have an HR system, they have all these systems, but they don't have a system for selling. And so frankly, that kind of puts your salespeople at a disadvantage because let's face it, most companies have a buying process. So just by having a system that you're following, just right out of the gate, big picture, that establishes business owner posture. Now we're just going to go through the system, the six of the 7. I've elected not to go to post-sell on this. And also a couple other techniques that establish business owner posture or equal business posture. So being able to pay attention to the person across from you, one of the things that's been a common theme this week, at least from the things I've gone to, is, are we really listening to the people that we're in the midst of? And like what I like to say is, if someone were observing you, either through a recorder, through a video recording, and you didn't know it, and their job was to convict you in a court of law of listening, would there be enough evidence? Would there be enough evidence? And so one of the things that establishes I've got to pay attention to you if I'm going to be listening, right? But we also want to pay attention to those matching and mirroring of body language, tonality, the words they use. And so just being aware of how that person's sitting, how they're talking, I think allows you to listen more. But the other part of it is, and we've all had this happen where you're talking to probably the wrong person, but you don't know it necessarily at the time. And they say, we're not going to be able to do that because my boss says this, or our process, that's another one. Our process is we can't do that. We can't give you that right now. Well, if you don't have a process either, which way is that probably going to go? So sometimes we need to talk about our process. I'd really like you to get me a quote right now. What can I share with you that why I can't do that right now? Okay. Our process, you see how it became equal? So having that process again and matching and mirroring brings equal We're not trying to dominate. We're not trying to be a doormat either. We're just trying to have equal, like we're in this together.
Thank you for watching this highlight video from the Sandler Summit. You can join us for the next Sandler Summit in 2024, March 19th and 20th at the Orlando World Center Marriott. Register now at sandler.com/summit.